As he throws the jab, I'm going to step in. Now this is dangerous, but the risk is worth the reward.
For this week's technique of the week, we're going to have John Booney show something that he likes to do. This guy came back 2013. He came into our gym. He had already a good background in karate, like a lot of the guys here. And from day one, he was very tough to deal with in sparring. So we had him jump on the team as a coach, and he's been here ever since. This is the guy who stood in my corner from my 7th fight till I won a world title. So he's got a lot to say and a lot to offer. We'll let him take it away.
Today I'm going to talk about slipping the jab and throwing an overhand right counter. So before we actually get into the technique itself, let's just differentiate between a defensive slip and an offensive slip. So what I mean by defensive slip is when the punch is coming, I can decide whether or not I want to stay in one position and just slip and move my head offline, or I can take a step in, or I can take a step backwards. Okay, so a purely defensive slip is where I would take a step backwards and I'd buy myself some time and some distance. If I wanted to counter though, I actually want to close the gap. So offensively slipping involves stepping in and actually slipping at the same time. Now, the downside of that, of course, is that punch is coming a lot faster. But now I'm in position, and if I wanted to throw a punch, I'm a lot closer. I don't have to do an extra step so that I can actually land this punch. So let's go over the jab and the defensive slip. Okay, so he throws a jab. I can just get out of the way. And from here, that's great. I'm safe. But if I wanted to throw a punch, it gives him a little bit more time to react. Okay? If I actually wanted to make this a little bit easier for myself to land the punch, as he throws the jab, I'm going to step in. Now, this is dangerous, but the risk is worth the reward. Okay? From here, even if he doesn't move his arm, I'm just going to turn my head and I'm going to move his arm for him with my forehead. And then I'm going to throw my overhand right over the top like so. Okay? So one more time, he throws a jab. I slip as I step forward. From here, my head moves. I don't care if his arm doesn't move. My head just moves, throws it out of the way, and then I come over the top with my overhand right. Okay, so now, if he throws a jab, let's just hold it out for a second, and I'm here, as he pulls back, okay? If I miss this, that's fine, that's okay. What I want to be able to do is when I throw that overhand right, I want to hit between this window here. So there's a triangle that forms as he brings his arm back. This is the window. So even if my head doesn't move his hand out of the way, as long as I time that correctly and I hit between that window, I'm good. That's a very clean punch.
So I just want to jump back in because John had this brilliant cue. I think he used it probably like 7 years ago, and I've never forgotten it, and I teach it all my students. When he does that slip, I'm going to punch at him, and he'll do the slip. One thing he said, and I've never forgotten it, was to attack the punch with your slip. It wasn't just like move forward, it was attack that punch with your slip, and that gave me a really good sense of how it was supposed to work. So, you know, look at how he's doing it, you'll see what I mean. He just came right in. Now, as long as his head's offline, he's good to go. But just that cue of attacking the punch was so brilliant, I didn't want to miss it on this video.